What is going on, guys? Espresso Shucko here, and today I am bringing a Sceptile and Mamoswine hybrid team to the ladder. So this team initially started out off as me thinking, you know what, Sceptile is my favorite Hoenn starter. You don't see it often because it is hard to use. I will admit this. I ran some practice matches, and originally this was a Sceptile and Solomon's team that was just absolutely terrible, so I dismantled it and rebuilt it from the ground up. So here we are with this Sceptile and Mamoswine hybrid team. The nice thing about this is whatever Sceptile does not like, Mamoswine 99% of the time does. So as far as this goes, it's a fun team to use. A little difficult, to say the least. The idea here is I set up Sceptile's Unburden ability to double its speed by having Indeedee and Sceptile on the field. The Psychic Sea gives me a special defense boost, Indeedee can go for Follow Me, and then Sceptile sets up Swords Dance to take advantage of the fact that its physical attack stat is not absolutely terrible. Another idea I did consider with this was Weakness Policy Sceptile, but I don't know the most reliable way of setting up Sceptile as far as that goes. Shard, in theory, is probably the best way of doing it, but Sceptile's physical defense stat is kind of bad, so I feel like you would need a little bit more defensive investment into Sceptile than what I have on this, but I digress. Sceptile and Mamoswine are a fun combo. We also have Galarian Moltres, which at this rate, everyone should know what that thing does. We have Safety Goggles on our Galarian Moltres, we have Nasty Plot, Indeedee sets up Follow Me, Moltres goes for Nasty Plot, or just takes advantage of Berserk if it takes a hard hit. We have Tapu Fini, which is rather solid. If Mamoswine and Sceptile have problems, Tapu Fini comes in. It's a nice check to Urshifu with Moonblast. Scald can hit things like Landorus that are flying and potentially burn them, while Fini gets to take advantage of its own Misty terrain to prevent status. We have Rotom-Heat, great stab combination in electric and fire. And finally, as I've already mentioned, we do have Indeedee, which Indeedee is probably my favorite thing to put on a team, aside from Whimsicott. So, anyways, let's see what we can get on the ladder today as we begin our campaign to entertain. Okay, Sceptile team is locked and loaded, and I'm going to address something right now because you guys can probably see my win-loss ratio right here. All those losses are not from this team. That's from experimenting with some other stuff as well that I found out that was really bad. So let's see if we can try to salvage my win-loss ratio. So our opponent has a Kommo-o, Gothitelle, this feels like Trick Room, or Parashong. They have Gothitelle, Lapras, Primarina, Bouffalant, Cradily, and Kommo-o, which I already said Kommo-o. So I'm assuming this is Parashong. Primarina and Lapras both get access to that. Kommo-o and Bouffalant have Soundproof. Gothitelle is not going to be my friend here. The big thing with Gothitelle is if I could get rid of that, I can switch out and not have to worry about Parashong. Lapras is stupidly bulky. And they can also go for Parashong and not let their Bouffalant or Kommo-o go down if they have Soundproof, which I'm assuming they do. So this does not look like a good match for Sceptile, unfortunately. So I feel like Gothitelle wants to set Trick Room or something, so maybe what we'll do is we will go with Rotom. Rotom puts a good amount of pressure on Lapras if possible, or if I can connect with it. Tapu Fini, Indeedee, and Mamo. See what we get with this. I struggle with Parashong teams, unfortunately, so this may not be good. Yeah, of all the archetypes out there, I struggle the most with Parashong. So let's see what we can get. So, they're gonna lead Kommo-o and Bouffalant instead. Alright. I don't think Bouffalant gets any grass coverage, so I think Rotom's not in a bad spot, and I think Tapu Fini's in a very good spot too. Maybe what I'll do is I'll bring in Mamoswine, and I think I'll Moonblast into the Como-O slot. If they go for Clangorous Soul, I mean, I do not see them staying in on Tapu Fini. I feel like they're going to sub out, so I feel like Rotom is possibly in danger here, and I would rather let Tapu Fini do what it wants to do. I don't think either of these two get access to Perish Song, so I think they're relatively safe. I'm assuming their idea is get 2 quick KOs and then force me into a Perish Song. Dragon Dance, okay. Interesting. So we know they're physical now. And I definitely did not see any reason not to have a Rosalie Berry on the Como-O, so that's very good damage that I'm happy with. Ooh, they're interesting. They're gonna go for Dragon Dance and the Sword Stance on Bouffalant. Interesting. Okay. Now, they are faster than Mamoswine here, so maybe I can pick off Como-O with Tapu Fini, and then potentially Dynamax Mamoswine and go from there. Fini's going to take that without any problems. We're going to get rid of Como-O. And now, getting rid of Bouffalant should be probably a priority. Although, if Lapras or Gothitelle come in, I gotta get rid of them off the field too. So, not a terrible start, to say the least. I can still switch, which is nice, but they might take that away sooner rather than later. So here's Lapras. I think, all things considered, I can maybe go... I don't know if I want to max Mamo or if I want to... I feel like maybe we do something about the Bouffalant and... I think maybe I'll protect... Yeah, I think I'm going to protect Tapu Fini. Try to get rid of Bouffalant. So, if they get the Aurora Veil, that's annoying. If they just go straight Perish Song, I don't want to necessarily swap Mamoswine out while it's Dynamax, but if I have to, and have the opportunity to, I might. I'm surprised they didn't lead Trick Room, or Perish Song. They're going to go for their max, which makes sense. They're going to get bulky and make it impossible to take them out, but the nice thing here is, while they're Dynamaxed, they can't go for Perish Song. So maybe if I can get another quick KO onto them and keep at least one thing extra and Perish Song goes up, maybe I can stall it out that way. We shall see, though. I do like seeing this Bouffalant, though, too. Stat-wise, it's moderately decent. It's got a decent attack stat. Sap Sipper is a nice ability, all things considered. Soundproof is not bad either, so... I wonder what they have on it aside from the Rock Slide and Sword Stance. I feel like they should have had Poison Jab on their Como-O. Okay, another Sword Stance. That's a little bit scary. Not going to lie. But Tapu Fini is faster than their Bouffalant, so all things considered, I think I can go for a Max Quake with Mamoswine and maybe even try to get a Calm Mind boost into... No... Yeah, I think I'm going to go Calm Mind into Tapu Fini here. They might have something like Max Lightning on their Lapras, so what I would like to do is I'd like to get Tapu Fini a little bit on the tankier side, and then try to double into whatever's coming next. If it's Gothitelle, they're 2 turns behind, setting up Parashong because of their Dynamax. They'll have at least 1 turn of Max to burn before they can set it up. If they have Primarina, they can set it up immediately, but my plan there will be is gang up on Primarina with Fini and Mamo. We're also at +2 special defense on top of Fini's, which is nice, and Mamo's got a special defense boost, so let's see. Yeah, special defense boost did not benefit Mamoswine there at all, but I digress. I still have my Tapu Fini. If it's something that's not resistant to water, Skull is going to be nice here. I can set up bring in Indeedee to protect Fini with Follow Me, and even go Expanding Force if I need to. So I think Fini is definitely the right pivot, or Indeedee is the right pivot. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Cradily, okay. So Storm Drain will boost Cradely's special attack, but I do not think Max Geyser does anything to me if they go for it, so I think they have to go for whatever their coverage moves are on Lapras. Otherwise, Storm Drain will pull that into. So I think I'm in a safe enough spot that I can go Expanding Force and Moonblast. Indeedee did nothing, but that's what Indeedee does. It's a punching bag, essentially. I do like that they went for Indeedee naturally. So, all things considered, I can maybe Expanding Force and go for Leech Seed. Okay. Do I think they're going to... Do I think they're going to protect with Cradily, or do I think they're going to set up Leech Seed into Indeedee? Yeah. That's a good question. I don't have access to a full-powered Expanding Force, though. That's the other thing. That said, I think I can bring Rotom in here, because I do not expect them to go for a Water-type attack here, so I think Rotom can go set up Thunder, or not set up, but use Thunderbolt on Lapras, and then see if we can just get rid of this Cradily. I think all things considered, that might be for the best. Moonblast is definitely Fini's better option here, so it's going to do nothing to these two. So we'll get a little bit of chip into Lapras here. They did not protect with Cradily, which makes me... Okay, I'm fine with the Freeze Dry into Rotom. And they're just going to Leech Seed Indeedee. I'm more than okay with that. I can switch Indeedee out, get Fini back in. I don't like that Cradily is getting HP back, though. Because we're definitely on a timer for sure. How many turns of Aurora Veil do they have left? In theory, 1. Yeah, in theory they have 1 left. If they're Light Clay, I'm pretty sure that'll change to 8. Like 3 of 8. But I don't know, they might still be a weakness policy, so I do want to try to play this safe with Rotom and wait for the Aurora Veil to be gone if possible. I feel like they Leech Seed into the Rotom slot. They did call me right on switching to Fini, unfortunately, but... Oh, they're gonna Meteor Beam. Okay, Not the end of the world because I get to dodge this, but that's a little scary. That's for sure. Okay, they did have the Aurora Veil wear off. I do know that Fini is, not slower, faster than both these two. So I think we go for the Thunderbolt into Lapras, and I think Fini, once it gets a little bit more back, I feel like they Leech Seed Rotom this turn, which, if I can get rid of Lapras, perfect, and if I can't, well, if they set Perish Song, I can shuffle around the team a little bit. And plus, the only thing keeping Rotom safe from electric type attacks is Cradily, so. There is the weakness policy, which is misfortunate. But they're going to go for Tapu Fini here. And they did Leech Seed my Rotom, which is disgusting, but at the same time, not the end of the world. I wonder. Overheat might be fun, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Fini can KO Lapras at this range. And I think maybe, just maybe, I can go for the Nasty Plot. If Fini gets rid of Lapras, awesome, because then I can have Rotom get the Nasty Plot, go for an Overheat into... I should live this. Yeah, okay. So Fini should get rid of Lapras from this range. I've got my Nasty Plot, and if I can just try to get rid of this Cradily sooner rather than later. I do know they have the Meteor Beam. Interesting that they went Giga Drain into Rotom, but I am more than okay with that. Yeah. It does suck that I lost Mamoswine, because Mamoswine would have been perfect for trying to get rid of Cradily here. But, I have yet to see a Protect off this thing. So maybe what I can do, just to try to kind of scout this out, is Moonblast into Cradily, and go for another Nasty Plot, because they can't fire Meteor Beam right away, so I think if I get to +4, that should be it for Overheat to pick off Cradily, especially whereas Indeedee still has Helping Hand, so in theory I should be fine. Still no Protect off the Cradily. And Moonblast is going to do a moderately decent amount of damage. The fact that they get rid of Fini is a little bit more beneficial, because Grass typing is not Fini's friend. But I now have a +4 Overheat, and I have access to a full-powered Expanding Force and a Helping Hand. And the benefit about Overheat is I have to make contact to get the special attack drop into myself, so I should be able to fire at least once into a Protect and be fine. Cradely's got no special defense boosts, so in theory, I think I'm just free to Helping Hand and Overheat, and hope I don't miss. So we'll go for our Helping Hand, we'll go for our Overheat. No Protect off this thing, which is very nice. So +4 Overheat into Cradily. Nice. Nice. That's what I want to see. Thank you, Rotom. Also, I'm surprised there was no Perish Song there, but I am more than okay with that first match, all things considered. Good game to my opponent. Alright, so we pulled off one win. That's a good start. Sceptile did not come to that game, unfortunately, but we'll see if we can make it work. We will see, ideally. Yeah, Sceptile don't look good again this system either. Of course. Okay, so they have all three of the Unovan Genies. Galarian Articuno. Yeah, this really looks good for Mamoswine again. Okay. The Mamoswine ignores the Intimidate off of Incineroar and Landorus. It's able to pop all three of those flying genies. It can pop Articuno. Cinderace does scare it. I will be 100% honest, Cinderace does scare my Mamoswine. But I think Mamoswine and Indeedee could be really strong here, all things considered. The exception of... I mean, Rotom doesn't look like a bad option either, but I think Tapu Fini has a good option here. And I think Galarian Moltres. I think Galarian Moltres maybe, and Tapu Fini or Rotom. Do I want Fini or Rotom? We'll bring Fini. Fini doesn't like the Thundurus, but it does okay against the Landorus. So, in theory, if Landorus doesn't get set up, I'm assuming G-Max Cinderace maybe, but I think all things considered, Mamoswine does get outsped by Cinderace, so I gotta be careful there. Landorus and Cinderace. Okay, now the beautiful thing about this Indeedee is I do have a Focus Sash on it. So I think all things considered, I can maybe go for... See, I'm scared of them going for a Max Airstream with Cinderace because I would love to hit it with Max Quake. Don't get me wrong, the ground type Max Quake would be wonderful here, but I don't think I get it. And I'm worried that they fly with Landorus, but at the same time, if they don't fly with Landorus, yeah, I think Landorus is the bigger threat, all things considered. I have Fini in the back, which can... Because Cinderace does technically get electric coverage, but it also has to use a special attack to get that Max Lightning, because that's Electro Ball, and Cinderace is... Oh, it's regular Cinderace, not G-Max. Okay. I don't feel as bad about that either. Because a Max Flare does not get as strong as... I mean, it still is strong, but I'm Focus Sashed. So, all things considered, this is a little bit of a scary situation for Mamoswine to be in, but all things considered, I expect maybe a Rock Slide off of Landorus. They could fly. I don't necessarily see the best of reasons to fly, unless they know that I got the Hailstorm coming their way, but they might think I'm going for Cinderace. So I'm okay with that Protect, because 4 times Ice effect damage through a Protect should still be strong. And that means I only take 1 hit with Indeedee. So there we go. Also, they're Max Darkness. That's fine with me. That's fine with me if they want to give me their Cinderace next turn. I'm going to hit Landorus really hard. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to hit Landorus really hard for this Protect. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just realized. I take out my own Indeedee because of the Hailstorm, but yeah, that's awesome. Bye-bye, Landorus. Also, bye-bye, Indeedee. Unfortunately, I do KO my own Indeedee, but Landorus was a big threat. And what I can do is I can also have Tapu Fini go for a Scald or a Moonblast. I'm assuming... Here's the thing. here's the thing. If they go for a Max Flare into my Mamoswine, and I Max Guard it, they don't set the Sun, and then I can still hit them with a Scald. Because there's no way with Tornadus on the field that my Mamoswine outspeeds this Cinderace. There's no way. It's naturally faster, and Tornadus can go for something like Taunt or Tailwind. So I think the Max Guard is probably the best idea here. And look at that, they're going to taunt Fini. They did go for an Airstream though. That's it's not great, but the fact that I still blocked it with the Max Guard, that's nice. And honestly, I think Moltres can handle Tornadus and Cinderace, all things considered. So I feel a little crazy for doing this, but I think I'm going to Moonblast into Cinderace. No, I think I'm going to Moonblast into Tornadus, all things considered, and I think I'm going to Rockfall. If they want a speed boost, they can go for the Airstream. If they go for the... Or they can just do that. Okay, they're going to Icy Wind me. There's a little bit of chip into Mamo, which is a little scary, but... They're going for Airstream. They also went for Tapu Fini. Nice. I could have gone for the Moonblast into Cinderace. That said, I'm going for Rockfall into them, so that's still super effective damage. Nice. Okay. The biggest threat to Mamoswine. I mean, Tornadus might still have Heat Wave, which could be really bad, but the biggest threat to Mamoswine is just collapsing right now. I don't feel bad for losing Indeedee now because I just took Cinderace and I took Landorus. And Tornadus just took half its health in Moonblast damage. That's nice, all things considered. I can't protect, but most of their team was flying types anyways, so I think Earthquake's not going to be missed here. I have Rock Slide, I have Icicle Crash. Assuming I don't lose both of these guys, I think that's fine. Tornadus took more than enough damage off of Moonblast. Brutal Swing, okay. That's a weakness policy, Articuno. I still like the Brutal Swing tech on Tornadus because I used it on Metagross. But this is also a single target move, so... Yeah, that makes sense about Mammo. That makes 100% sense that I lose Mamoswine there. That said, they're losing Tornadus. I'm fine with that. I'm pretty sure I get access to Protect again, too. Because I'm pretty sure this Sand is going to KO Tornadus at this range. So, all things considered, there's safety goggles. Okay. That said, Moltres is bulky. They also have to respect the fact that I could potentially have a focus, or not a focus sash, a weakness policy, so they might not go for the Icy Wind, but they might. I don't know. I think we go Fiery Wrath, and I think, assuming Moltres doesn't go down here, I think that cleans this up. They are going to... yeah, I'm pretty sure Articuno's naturally faster than Moltres. They're just going to go for the Icy Wind, okay. Okay, I see you. I see you. Let's see. Let's see. So long as Moltres survives this, I think... Air Slash. Oh, no, 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 no. You should have went for Moltres here. You really should have went for Moltres here. Because sure, you can potentially flinch me, but I'm just going to do that. We also landed a crit for good measure on the Articuno, so all things considered, I'm very happy with that. I don't think the crit would have mattered from that range. I think Moltres was fine, and plus, if I wasn't safety goggles and I was weakness policy, that definitely would have KO'd. So, all things considered, I think that's a good game for my opponent, or a good game to my opponent, not a good game for my opponent. That's a good game for me. Yeah. Anyways, good game for my opponent. Before I jump into the next match, one thing that I was thinking too is this team probably could benefit from weakness policy, and I was also thinking maybe ice sharding Sceptile to set that off, but yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's see what we can get for another opponent. We've got 2 wins. That's a great start, and let's hopefully get a match where Sceptile maybe looks good. If not, at least Mamoswine's doing a lot of work. A Regigigas team, okay. Weezing and Gigas lead could not be good for Sceptile, unfortunately. But, with the exception of Rotom, they don't really look like they have a good means of altering terrain. Off the top of my head, they could have Max Lightning on Regigigas or something, but I'm assuming they have Max Quake. Yeah, interesting. I think, all things considered, I think Indeedee and Mamoswine still put pressure on Weezing. I think if we go for Helping Hand Max Quake into Weezing, we could be fine. And if they lead Dragapult, we have Mamoswine to Icicle Crash it. Urshifu could be a problem, that's for sure. So I think Moltres or Fini is needed for that. I think Fini does really good against Urshifu and Dragapult, all things considered. Yeah, if I can get rid of Weezing too, I can set Sceptile up. You know what? I want to do it. I want to bring Sceptile on the back. I think Moltres could have been good here too, but I think, all things considered, Sceptile scares that Rotom. I think Sceptile is genuinely needed for the Rotom, but I expect Weezing Gigas lead, so maybe I do Helping Hand Max Quake into Weezing with Mamoswine and hope. Dragapult and Whimsicott, okay. Okay, so, Psychic Terrain keeps Mamoswine safe from priority moves, and Indeedee is immune to Ghost. I think, all things considered, I can just straight Icicle Crash Whimsicott, and if... I mean, I have Psychic Terrain up, so even if I lose Indeedee and keep Mamoswine, I can bring Sceptile in, and I can get my Psychic Seed activated. And they're going to straight Max, which is okay with me. Unless they Airstream into Indeedee here, what I can do is I can bring in Sceptile, max it, Max Airstream, and then Mamoswine should be able to Icicle Crash Dragapult here, in theory. A Max Wormwind into Dragapult, or into Indeedee would be terrible for Mamoswine, but yeah, okay, figures. That said, Whimsicott did not attack, and Indeedee lived, so unless it's a spread move, Mamoswine should still be healthy. Yeah, it's Moonblast, okay. So Mamoswine is gonna stay in, and I got 5 HP on Mamoswine. Oh, here's a thought. Here is a thought. Yeah, I didn't think of this. So, if Weezing hits the field, Mamoswine cannot Mamoswine cannot, or Sceptile can't get its Unburden. I think we Expanding Force, and I think we Follow Me, and I think we bring in Sceptile. Reset the attack drop into Mamoswine. Okay, they're going to protect. That's fine with me. I should get my Follow Me, and I should get my Switch. So, nope. I missed it. I timed out. That's rather unfortunate, but I mean, if I lose in Indeedee, all things considered, I still have Fini in the back too. That's the other thing. I still have Fini in the back. They have one turn of Max, so I think what I do, I bring Sceptile. I think I take this turn to Max Guard through Swords Dance, and I think we bring in Tapu Fini, get Fini a speed boost, and go from there. I think that's our best course of action. Keep Mamoswine healthy because I expect Weezing to be in the back. And honestly, if Tapu Fini gets up the Misty terrain now, I don't have to worry about Weezing burning Sceptile, which could be disgusting. And the Dragapult's going to shrink down, so I think from here, it's not bad. If they go for a Wormwind in the Mamoswine slot, Tapu Fini completely ignores it. And if they go for anything into Sceptile, because the fact that they revealed Max Flutterby makes me think they have U-turn, I think I can Airstream and go for a Moonblast into Dragapult. Because I know, based off of my Sceptile speed, I'm faster than Regieleki with max investment in speed and a timid nature. So, all things considered, I think Tapu Fini might be able to benefit from this Airstream next turn, and I think once Sceptile gets a speed boost, I'm in a good spot too. Yeah, that's the main thing. I think Sceptile gets a good Tailwind. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely not outspeeding Dragapult now. But Airstream did not happen. Did not happen, Amigo. It did not happen. I don't know why I said Amigo. Anyways. So. I don't have any, attack boosts into my Sceptile, unfortunately, but I think we can do a lot of damage with this. We will go for an Airstream, maybe into Whimsicott, though. I don't like that having access to priority anymore, so I think we Moonblast Dragapult, and I think we Airstream Whimsicott. Of course. Okay. That said, I still get my Airstream boost into Sceptile, which is nice. And I took an attack drop. Wonderful. Or a special attack drop. Wonderful. So, yeah. Sceptile's fast. I missed Dragapult, but now the question is what do I want to do with Tapu Fini? Do I want to switch it out? There's the Weezing. Okay, I think we Airstream Weezing, and I think, honestly, I think Calm Mind might not be a bad call for Fini. Fini took that no problem, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll get another Airstream. That did nothing to Weezing, though. That's really scary. But we're at +2 speed. So the question is what does Weezing do? Does it try to burn me? Or does it try to go for something else? Because I still have Misty Train up. Huh, okay. If Dragon Ball goes for Phantom Force or Fly, I don't know if it has acrobatic or well, I haven't seen an item off this thing yet. It might just go for a U-turn, which could be really, really bad for me. But I think all things considered, I can go for maybe a Scald into the Weezing slot. Or do I think they U-turn to bring out Gigas? I think maybe they U-turn. Because Sceptile will take a lot. Yeah, they go for the U-turn, so I'll Scald into that slot. Sceptile does not go down either. So, depending on what Weezing does, if it's got Sludge Bomb, I think Sceptile should be fine because Weezing is not known for having a good attack stat in either area. So maybe, whereas I'm at +2 speed, Acrobatics and Scald can get rid of Gigas. Maybe. They go for Sludge Bomb. And, oh, they go for it in the Fini. Okay. Okay. Their Tailwind is gone too, so I am definitely faster than them. I think I Leaf Blade, Gigas, and I think I Scald Weezing as well. Try to get a little... Yeah, they're going to protect, so that's why I didn't want to... I was worried that they might protect. I'll go for Scald into Weezing here, see if I can get some damage into it. Oh, that looked like a crit. Nope, that was just raw damage. Cool. I lose Sceptile. Sceptile, unfortunately, doesn't get to stay around, but all things considered, if I get rid of Weezing, I cripple Regigigas, and by turning on its ability, am I still taunted? Because I now have Mamoswine. That's the big question. I think I can Rock Slide with Mamoswine. I think that's safe, and this is my last turn at Taunt. So, I feel like I protect Weezing here. So maybe I go for an Icicle Crash into Regigigas, and I think I go for a full-on Moonblast into it. With the reason being, if they switch out Regigigas, Dragon Bolt switches into. So there is the protect off the Weezing, by the way. Yeah, let's see what Fini can do to Regigigas with this Moonblast. That's not great. Ooh, we lost Fini. But we get Mamoswine's Ice Crash into Gigas, so... All things considered, do I think they Phantom Force with Dragapult? I think I Earthquake Mamoswine, and then I think I go for an Ice Crash and Dragapult. I think that's the play here. Sceptile tried to do something. It would have been nice if we had gotten rid of Weezing, but all things considered, this is not a terrible position, especially if they go Phantom Force. I wonder what Dragon Darts does to me, though, because it's a double-hitting move. No, they go Phantom Force. Sweet. I know I'm slower than them, so... Well, I'm slower than Dragon Bolt. I should KO Weezing from this range. Well, maybe not, because they have the Shucka Berry. Who am I kidding? Shucka Berry did nothing for Smog, or Smog, whatever Weezing is. So assuming Dragapult does not KO Mamoswine here, I think Icicle Crash gets it, because oh yeah, they had a Focus Sash earlier on one Scott. So assuming I don't miss... Yeah, baby. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so all things considered, that was a good match. Way closer than I would have liked, but it wasn't a train wreck. That's all that I care about, especially whereas my rating is so bad. I was watching someone earlier, and their rating was like in the 4,000. They're like, my rating's so bad. No, my rating is bad. Your rating is good compared to mine, but my rating is bad. That said, I'm happy all things considered. Good game to my opponent. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Hopefully I carried out the campaign to entertain and left you satisfied with this Sceptile and Mamoswine hybrid team. It's a shame that for match 1 and match 2, Sceptile did not really look good against my opponent's teams, but it did come to match 3 and it did stuff. It did not get to do what I necessarily wanted, but it did start putting on some pressure at the end. It gave Tapu Fini some Airstream boosts, which we really needed to get past Regigigas. And plus, like I said in the beginning of this video, if Sceptile doesn't like it, chances are Mamoswine does, and Mamoswine definitely carried a lot in matches 1 and 2, more so match 2 and match 3, I guess. I mean, after all, Mamoswine won us that third match, and match 1, it did go down kind of quick, but it put on enough pressure that we needed. All things considered, I'm very happy with Mamoswine. I'm glad I switched Earthquake onto it, because just having the option of going for the spread move to get rid of that Wheezing and potentially hit the Dragapult was nice. And plus, we got to pick it up. We got the satisfaction of watching Dragapult hit us and then eat an Icicle Crash. It doesn't get much better than that. So anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you again shortly. In the meanwhile, stay awesome.